Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 movies that I consider to be underrated, underappreciated, and just kind of like underloved. These are great movies in my opinion. They just, when I think about these movies, they don't really come up in general movie conversations. They don't come up in, some of these don't make top lists. You know how you have a top list for a specific genre? And I watch a lot of YouTube videos from different content creators in our niche, and I don't really see these movies come up or mentioned. And we're going to go ahead and dive in and take a look at just 10. There's plenty more, but we're going to do 10. We might do a couple more of these videos, underappreciated movies. But here's the first 10 of the series. Always outnumbered, always outgunned. Lawrence Fishburne gave an incredible performance in this movie. And Lawrence Fishburne, to me, when it comes to his acting, I consider Lawrence Fishburne to be almost like a renaissance man of the craft. He's just that good. He's a very emotional actor. He really pours it on. So this is, in my opinion, one of his best performances. A lower budget movie. This is an HBO original, a very old HBO original, but you'll see that Lawrence Fishburne, his portrayal of Socrates was incredible. Isaiah Washington gave a great performance in this movie as well. So did Bill Cobb and Natalie Cole. Check this one out. Always outnumbered, always outgunned. I do believe it's only available on DVD. Here's another one that just really blew my socks off. The fact that this movie didn't really get a lot of love when it first came out. But people do talk about this one now more than they did when it first came out. And I don't know why. This is a really, really good movie. A very good psych thriller. Mindhunters. This is a really good movie. Great performances by LL Cool J, Christian Slater. Val Kilmer is in the movie, but he's kind of not in the movie. But a really good movie. I mean, it's a great mystery. It's a great thriller. The ending will leave you have you going, because the movie, basically, the way it's set up is to have you thinking everybody is the bad guy. And when you find out at the end who really is the bad guy, to kind of blow your socks off. Fantastic movie. Here's another one. Now, I think this movie did get love initially, but it just doesn't come up. Like when you talk about great gangster movies, great period pieces, it don't come up. It don't get a lot of love. Hoodlum Man. Wow. This is one of the best movies in my collection, in my entire collection. I don't know what number I would give it. It would probably make my top 100. It probably would. But you got an all-star cast in here. You got Lawrence Fishburne. You got Andy Garcia. You got Danny Aiello. You got Vanessa Williams, Tim Roth. This is a fantastic movie. It's basically another spin on Bumpy Johnson. There's quite a few adaptations on Bumpy Johnson. Netflix, I do believe, got an original. I think it's Netflix where that series is. I think it's called The King of Harlem. That's about Bumpy Johnson. Fantastic movie. Just awesome. Really good movie. And I'm not sure why this movie don't really come up in, popular gangster movies. Because Bumpy Johnson was a gangster. Cobra. Now, this is a 2-pack with Cobra and Tango and Cash, but we're going to talk about Cobra. When 90s action movies come up, Cobra doesn't come up. Cobra is a fantastic movie. Stallone did a good job. His acting was on point for the type of character that Marion Cobretti was. I couldn't think of a better guy to play the role than Sylvester Stallone. He played that particular character very well. It was a really good movie. It's a little dated, but it was a good movie considering when it came out. It was a really good movie. You watch it now, it's a little cheesy, but when it first came out, it was solid. And it still is solid today. Again, this is one of my personal favorites. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite movies in my entire collection. Like, it is one of my favorites, but I'm not sure how high it would rank. But it's a really good movie, and I really do enjoy watching it. And this is one that comes off the shelf, not regularly, but it comes off the shelf more than most. And I do watch them. I just watched this one a couple weeks ago. Needful Things. This is a really good movie. It's a good horror movie. It's not too jump scary. It's more psychological scary. And it's a really good movie. So you got Ed Harris, Max von Sydow, and Bonnie Bedelia. Max Sydow is basically the devil. He comes to this little town. He creates a little shop called Needful Things. And the reason why it's called Needful Things, the things he have in the shop, the people in the town want and need these items. But he make them do things to get the items. Fantastic movie. You'll like this one. Passenger 57, a Wesley Snipes movie. Definitely a product of his time. Definitely a early 90s action movie. Fantastic. Rest in peace, Tom Sizemore. He was in this movie. Wesley Snipes, Tom Sizemore did a fantastic... Well, Tom Sizemore, he wasn't really in the movie all like that. I forget who the bad guy was in here. What's his name? But anyway, great movie. Great action. Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57. Don't get enough love, in my opinion. This one is... I hardly ever see any... I know people who never heard of this movie until I brought it up. DC Cab with Mr. T. Now, this movie came out either right around the A-Team or right before the A-Team. So this came out when Mr. T was riding his fame. Because people don't know, Mr. T had a cartoon. He had a cereal. He had a comic book. In fact, I got the very first issue of T-Force, his comic book, signed by Mr. T. I worked at a mall when I was a kid called Franklin Mills Mall in Philadelphia, and Mr. T was there doing an autograph signing for his new comic book called T-Force. And at the time, I was collecting comic books, so I went to the comic book store, bought a copy of T-Force, took it to Mr. T, and he signed it. I have a first edition copy of T-Force. But anyway, DC Cab, a really good movie. So you got Mr. T, Gary Busey, Irene Cara. Fantastic, funny movie. The Quick and the Dead. This is by far one of the best modern westerns in my collection. I have quite a few westerns. I really do appreciate the genre, and I think this is one of the better ones. To me, none is better than Unforgiven. That Unforgiven and Tombstone, those are my favorites. But this is right under those. But it don't get a lot of love. When you talk about the modern westerns, people go to... There's other go-tos other than this. There's, of course, Unforgiven, Appaloosa, 310 to Yuma. There's quite a few of the more modern stuff that have come up. Quigley Down Under come up before this, which Quigley Down Under was good, but this was on a whole different level. I like this better than Quigley Down Under, and I really did like Quigley Down Under, but I think this is a better movie than Quigley Down Under. So, The Quick and the Dead. Look at that cast. Look how young Leonardo DiCaprio is. You got Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman, and Sharon Stone. Fantastic movie. Just doesn't get a lot of love. Copycat with Sigourney Weaver. Man, this right here is a really good psychological thriller. Fantastic. It just don't get a whole lot of attention. But it never did. And this is the last one. And this is one that caught me off guard when I first got this one many moons ago. It's been in my collection for a very long time. Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls is a fantastic horror movie. This is a really good horror movie. It's about, I think the ghost in this thing is called the Tooth Fairy. And it follows this little boy from the time he's a little boy all the way up to him being a grown man. Fantastic movie, very scary. If you get your hands on Darkness Falls, I'm not sure what other formats this is available on. I don't know if it's on Blu-ray. I haven't seen it on Blu-ray. It could be on Blu-ray. I really wasn't looking for it, but Darkness Falls. So that's 10 movies that I think that are underrated, underappreciated. They don't really come up in conversation a lot, but I think they're good. And we're going to do 10 more another time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.